Hello everyone, this is Liang from the Mission Office of the School of International Education of Dalian University of Technology. Could you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. And please turn off your microphones. Thank you. Okay, we really welcome you to participate in our online information session for 2021 DUT International Student Application. So the teacher, Miss Du, just give you a brief introduction of our university. In the next few minutes, I'm going to introduce two kinds of scholarships: Chinese Government Scholarships and the International Chinese Language Teacher Scholarship. Later on, my colleague Ms. Luna will introduce Chinese Government Scholarship Type-B, Local Government Scholarship, DUT Scholarship, and self-sponsored degree programs as well.
Excuse
So,
me, Miss Liang, I couldn't see your PPT.
could you see my PowerPoint?
I couldn't see your PPT.
中华可以看到，杜老师你在列表那块儿，你点列表才能看到。
We can see it.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it.
Okay.
可以看到，
但我刚才看到了。
都能看到。
Okay. Now please continue. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go on. So let's start with the first one, Chinese Government Scholarship, Bilateral Program Type A. Basically, we'll focus on four aspects: introduction, eligibility, documents, and procedure. Very well, let's begin from the first part. What's the bilateral program? Some of you may have heard of it before. Actually, the bilateral program is Type A of the Chinese Government Scholarship. It includes a full or partial scholarship established by Ministry of Education of China in accordance with educational exchange agreements or consensus between Chinese government and governments of other countries, institutions, universities, or international organizations. As for the supporting category, it supports both the degree program and the non-degree program, which covers undergraduate students, graduate students, general scholars, and senior scholars. Please consult the Chinese embassy or consulate in your country or the foreign student dispatching department of your country for specific enrollment categories. As for the instruction language, you could choose either Chinese taught program or English taught program at DUT. Generally, the teaching language of undergraduate students in DUT is Chinese. However, many majors of Dalian University of Technology could be taught in English. For details, please refer to the instruction of each major of DUT in the CSC website. If you would like to check our major list, please refer to our university official website. In the home page, there is a navigation main menu, as the picture here shows. Find the option Admissions in the main menu here, and you could download the major list in bachelor programs, master programs, and PhD programs, respectively. Attention! The majors in yellow could be taught in both Chinese and English, while the others could only be taught in Chinese. Our university has outstanding disciplines in science and engineering area, and coordinates other disciplines like economics, management, humanities, philosophy, and art. If you would like to know more about it, please contact us by email and after the information session. Now let's move on to the study duration. Here is the duration of study period scholarship of each category. If you apply for the Chinese taught program, you may be arranged the Chinese language or preparatory study in the case of undergraduates. So what about the scholarship coverage? The bilateral program provides both full scholarships and partial scholarships. Usually it covers tuition, accommodation, stipend, and insurance. The stipend differs in accordance to the supporting category. 2,500 yuan for undergraduates, 3,000 yuan for master students, and 3,500 yuan for PhD students. If you are interested in the bilateral program, you could apply to the dispatching authorities for overseas study of your home country. The application period is usually between early January and early April, but it will be different in each country. Please consult the dispatching authorities for the deadline. So this is the general introduction of the program. If you are willing to apply, please pay attention to the next parts. According to different categories of applicants, the bilateral program has different requirements for applicants' academic qualifications and age. The specific requirement is as follows. First, you need to be a citizen of a country other than the People's Republic of China and be in good health. If you are applying for the undergraduate students, you need to be a high school graduate under the age of 25. And if you are applying for the master program, you need to be a bachelor degree holder under the age of 35. And for PhD student, you need to have a master degree under the age of 40. In the next parts, we will focus on application documents. In order to give all of you a clear idea of the application document requirement, we have organized all the important materials in the following form, with clarification. The last column here could represent whether this document is obligatory or optional. Let's start from the beginning. First, application form for Chinese government scholarship in Chinese or English. Second, a copy of passport homepage with validity later than March 1st, 2022. Third, the notarized diploma or official proof of student status. Fourth, academic transcripts correspondent with your diploma or certificate of student status. Important notice here, documents in other languages must be attached with notarized Chinese or English translations. Fifth, a study plan or research proposal in Chinese or English. Please pay attention to the number of words required according to each category. A minimum of 200 words for undergraduates, 500 words for non-degree students, and 800 words for postgraduates. Okay, let's move on to the next page. 6. Recommendation letters. If you're applying for the graduate programs or senior scholar programs, you must submit 2 letters of recommendation in Chinese or English from professors or associate professors from your university. 7. The foreigner physical examination form. This form, it has the validity of 6 months, so please make the arrangements to do your physical examination. 8. Blood test report. According to our admission standard, your blood test report should include results of HIV, syphilis, hepatitis B, and hepatitis C. And for the 9th document, it will be the non-criminal record report. This document has a valid period of 6 months. So please do it and submit to us within this validity period. Okay, let's move on to the final page of the application documents. The 10 will be the language qualification certificate. In case of Chinese taught program, The HSK certificate is obligatory. And in case of English taught program, we suggest you to attach official English certificate or English as instruction language in previous education stage. And now we will see some optional documents. First of all, pre-admission letter. If you would like to submit this document as part of application materials to your embassy, you need to get in touch with the tutors of your major to get acceptance letter first, and then send us all the application materials. If your materials are up to our standard, we will issue the pre-admission letter for you. This document will give you more credit in the scholarship qualification selection. Plus, the optional materials could also cover the letter of guarantee for applicants under 18, employment certificate, and the application document like your work. So that's the whole admission documents checking list. Please ensure that the materials that you submitted are true and clear and meet all our admission standards. If so, please refer to the application procedure. Here are the 4 steps. First of all, apply to the dispatching authority for overseas study of your home country. Second, after being recommended by the embassy, you could get in touch with us for the pre-admission letter. And then, submit all of your application materials to the dispatching authorities of your home country before the deadline. If you are given the qualification, we will get in touch with you for more details. So that's the whole introduction for bilateral program. For any questions, you could check the information in our university website or contact us by email or telephone. Thank you. And now we would like to introduce you another scholarship, which is the International Chinese Language Teacher Scholarship. Wait for me a second. Okay. Now, what's the scholarship for? For the purpose of satisfying the growing demand of international community for Chinese language teachers and facilitating Chinese language education in other countries, the Center for Language Education and Cooperation, CLEC, will continue with this scholarship. Actually, this scholarship was called Confucius Institute Scholarship. To apply for this scholarship, you need to be recommended by local Confucius Institute, independently operated Confucius classrooms, or certain HSK centers, Chinese language departments of foreign universities, professional associations for Chinese language instruction of other countries, or Chinese embassies abroad. As for the scholarship coverage, it will cover tuition, living allowance, accommodation fee, and the medical insurance. Okay, this page is the Chinese version, and the next page will be the English version. Please have a look. The monthly allowance for language students is 2,500 yuan per person. For master student, the monthly allowance is 3,000 yuan per person. In the second part, we will focus on applicants' eligibility. Here are the 4 basic principles regarding the nationality, health situation, age, and future career plan. Please check to confirm that you are up to the standard before applying. As for the scholarship types and qualifications, again, we have organized all important elements in the following form. You could take a screenshot of the Chinese version in this page or the English version of this page. The first one, Chinese scholarship for master's degree in teaching Chinese to speakers of other languages, MTCSOL. The study duration of this major in Dalian University of Technology is 3 years, and it will start from September 2021. However, you could only be supported by the scholarship for a maximum of 2 academic years. In the 3rd year, you could apply for our DUT scholarship. And to apply for this major, you need to hold a bachelor's degree and have a minimum score of 210 on HSK test level 5, a minimum score of 65 on HSK test writing part, as well as 60 on HSKK test intermediate level, along with other support materials. For more details of this major, please contact us. And the second one is scholarship for 1 academic year study. The duration of this scholarship is 11 months. Please be aware that international students currently studying in China are not eligible for this type. Our university could provide 2 research directions, Chinese language and literature and Chinese language study. For the first direction, you shall have a minimum score of 180 on HSK test level 4 and 60 on the HSKK test intermediate level. And for the second direction, you need to have a minimum score of 210 on HSK test level 3. If you have a HSKK test score, priority will be given to you. Okay? We could also provide scholarship for 1 semester study. This page is the Chinese version and the next page is the English version. You could choose to start in September 2021 or March 2022. The duration will be 5 months. In case of this type, applicants holding the X1 or X2 student visa are not eligible. As for the qualifications, you shall have a minimum score of 180 on HSK test level 3 and an HSKK test score is required. And another one will be the scholarship for 4-week study. This type is only for the group person. You need to have 10 to 15 participants and you need to apply for the recommendation institution. If you are interested in this type, please get in touch with us and we will give you more details. Okay. After checking the applicant's eligibility, we would like to show you the required documents for applying the scholarship. Here is the material list. The passport photo page and HSK and HSKK test score reports. Important notice, your test score needs to be within the 2-year validity. And we also need you to provide us a reference letter by the head of the recommendation institution, your certification of the highest education diploma or proof of your study certificate, and an official transcript. We also would like you to provide us some other documents like the no criminal conviction record, physical examination report. If you are applying for the MTC-SOL student program, you also need to provide 2 reference letters from professors or associate professors. Other documents may include the certificated documents of designation signed by their legal guardians if you are under the age of 18. Okay. If you have prepared all these materials, you could start the application procedure. The application for this year will start from March 1st of 2021, so we are now processing. The application will be in 4 steps. You could refer to the website ciis.chinese.cn. After submitting the application, you could track the application progress, comments, and result in the system. I have taken the screenshot of the application system, so please have a look. Here, the picture on the left shows the beginning of the application system. You could create your application account and start filling in the application materials. And the photo on the right shows the application progress state. The page will appear after you submitting the application form. You could see the current position of your application. The first one is applicant account, and the second one is recommendation institution, which will be your Confucius Institute, and the third one is our university. And the final step will be the evaluation of the Center for Language Education and Cooperation. If you are selected by the Center for Language Education and Cooperation, our university will get in touch with you about the admission issues. So what about the application period? For programs commencing in September, please complete the application in the website that we just introduced before May 5th. So we have 2 weeks before the deadline. And for programs commencing in 2022 March, the deadline will be November 15th. Please remember and do not miss these 2 dates. So that's all for our International Chinese Language Teacher Scholarship Introduction. Thank you again for your listening. If you have any questions, please contact us by email, and we will give you feedback as soon as possible. Now let's invite